But not to the buffet table. decarlosdanger.com, where no matter your political persuasion, everybody can laugh at a little wiener joke. Good morning, y'all. It's about 8:15 in the morning here on the 4th of December. It's Mountain Standard Time in Sierra Vista, Arizona, where it's always sunny and always tyrannical. Case in point, I read something from the Cochise County Record. Social media is a wonderful thing. We get to spread the word to a lot of folks that don't necessarily have the means or the time to read the paper, but you'll send the information to their phone and give it to them in a quick dash. One of the officers that I'd actually spoke to the city council about this. Committed suicide a few months back, or actually a year ago now, over a year and change. They just gave him 60 grand. Well, there was a press release that said he lied more than 10 times prior to being hired with the city of Sierra Vista, and therefore he committed felonies 10 times, in a big fraud scheme or fraud stock scheme. So that's your integrity of the people that want to come and confiscate your property. That's just the trouble for me. It is. Because what that did is it set the stage to make that a non-prosecutable offense against every officer of the 65 or whatever and change have been there for the last, I don't know, since he was hired, whenever. So whenever that occurred, that gave everybody else cover so they couldn't be prosecuted for it because that was on his pre-employment form. It had to be. And if it wasn't on his pre-employment form, then he lied in order to obtain a job that we all paid for. So therefore, we have shown the level of lack of integrity, the lack of honor, the lack of discipline, and it really saddens me to it's almost like the lack of anybody gives a crap. In the moment that you stop giving a crap, then these are the things that happen and you just consider normal. And then you turn almost 50 years old one day, kids, and then your head wants to explode because you're trying to understand why you lived your life this way, and everybody else lies and steals and profits from it. That's the concern I have. So not only do we have the beauty of the Grand Canyon in the state of Arizona, we also have the division between government ethics and their imposed morality on the rest of us. And the divide is as big as the Grand Canyon. When you have officers of the law lying to put people in cages, and you know what? Maybe he didn't lie, but I know he did once, 10 times. And if you lie once while in office, you'll lie over and over and over again. His foundation was faulty. You hired him, and you got to deal with the aftermath. It saddens me to say this, but the guy that hired him is retired. He should cut his pension. The older I get, the more I realize how intelligent my grandparents and my parents are and were. Those around us, the advice they gave us. I mean, I still remember my grandfather telling me when you buy a house, all the things you had to go through. And I bought a house in the desert, and the thing that I didn't think I'd have to worry about as much, because it is a desert, is the ground moving underneath me. But he told me how it was going to happen, because if you have a septic tank, you can plant a garden on top of your shit. But if you have the sewers, you throw your shit out in the street. But when you throw it out in the street, then you're giving it to somebody else to take care of and dispose of. What they'll do is they'll go through and they'll reline it. But when they reline it, they have to isolate it to drain everything out so everything goes through properly. And when they do that, they hose over the people on the end. Well, guess where I live? I live on the end. And guess what? Here's a nautical joke. It's very bitter. It's the bitter end around here. But that's all right, because I got me a great woman who loves me very much, and I love her very much as well. And we get along extremely well, and kind of we grew up together. So, grew up together, didn't live together until in our 40s. We kind of get a bigger picture on what the meaning of life is, and we have a tremendous amount of respect for each other and our families. And our moms actually live a half mile apart from each other. And my mom and her mom allow us to keep buoy the local economy of Avon, Ohio, while we're there by stopping by ZZ's in between and spending approximately $10 per visit. Usually on the way out, I'll need one when I leave. If I get one before I go there, I don't know what I lose accountability as to what I'll say to my mother. And in a Kevin Costner flashback, we got the Field of Dreams here. This is actually, I'm playing up a little bit here. If you build it, they'll come, right? Well, they're talking about building the wall. They're never going to build the wall, folks, because if they're able to isolate and take care of illegal immigration and say that that's no longer a problem or concern, they won't have to divide people up to add them up for their election cycles to make sure that they can keep a two-party power system. I'm telling you, there's David. Was it David Robert Steele? Yeah, he's got hashtag unrig or whatever. He's got some pretty good ideas. If anybody hasn't checked him out, I'd recommend that they do. It's an opportunity. I mean, because if you when you build the wall, I tell people, yeah, you can build your wall. You can build it 100 nautical miles inland from the international border, and they look at me like I have something projecting from my forehead. And what I'm trying to tell them is that it doesn't matter anyway, because those of us down here within 100 nautical miles of the international border don't have any constitutional rights anyway. And it's kind of makes a little bit of sense to me the more that I think about it, because it has to do with how much we claim for our own selves. I mean, we claim 50 from land as our international boundaries, but we recognize 12 around the world because that's international rules. We've taken opportunity, because we are a continental nation, to be able to skew things to our end, to our benefit. But it's what victors do. They kind of rewrite history, right? They rewrite it to the way that they want it to be. I don't know. I love my country. I just think that we have to be more aware of what is actually going on, because if not, it's just to be blissful ignorance is no longer a choice, folks. You gotta become more aware of your surroundings, because if not, you end up like this. Please pay attention so you don't become a sheep.